Hello. Welcome, everyone. I am going live on several platforms at the same time. So when you see me on a platform, please say hello, introduce yourself, and let me know where you're tuning in from. Okay, so this is going out to YouTube. Hello, YouTube community. It's going out to my Facebook group, which is called Powerful Potential, and it's also streaming to my personal Facebook profile. But first, I want to let you know what you're going to get here and why to stick around. And then also, if you like this, how to get more of this free coaching content and mindset videos. So first of all, join my Facebook group. Just do it now. The Facebook group is called Powerful Potential, and it is for perfectionists to find community and start practicing their potential. Now, who am I? My name is Cami, and I'm an intuitive life coach. You got it, for perfectionists and high achievers and anybody who is really hard on themselves or is a people pleaser and has a lot of judgment. That is who I serve. So today, I'm going to teach you in 20 minutes or less how to start a meditation practice and why. Okay, so stick around if you've been curious about meditation, if you've tried meditating and you feel like it doesn't work for you. I'm going to share a bit of my story. I'm going to share a little bit about my clients and their morning routine and their meditation practice. And I'm going to share 6 myths that I am just going to myth bust for you today so that you can actually start meditating today and start to transform your life. That is what I do. I help you transform your mindset and transform your life. So if you are here, you want to stick around with me, cool, let's get started. If you're watching the replay, comment. Let me know that you watch the replay. I love connecting with you, even if you're here live or if you catch the replay later. So let me first start with my story with meditation. I was never a meditator. I wasn't even pursuing it, but my life was essentially a wreck. It wasn't going how I wanted it to go. And there were some coaches in my community and in my area that were meditators and life coaches. And so I connected with one of my meditation friends who was also a life coach and still is. And she was able to transform her life through a lot of energetic practices, a lot of mindset work, and including meditation. So I'm going to pay it forward with what she taught me. And her name is Molly Hamill, if you want to go check her out. And I'm going to pay it forward and be that person for you who's going to kind of give you a hard look in the mirror and just say, hey, if there are things that you want to change about your life, let's just look at meditation as one potential tool and just be open to it. Just be open to learning more about it. What I always say is if I want to change something, I'm committed to doing anything that's weird, anything that's uncomfortable in order for me to get a different result. So stick with me here. Hey, Lucy. Okay, cool. Lucy's here. So when I first started meditating, this was, I think, in 2016, maybe, yeah. So I've been meditating for quite some time now, but consistently since 2018. And when I first started, this is the thing that my coach friend told me. I was interviewing her, was having a conversation about, well, when do you meditate? She's like, well, meditate in the morning. And I was like, well, what if I'm not a morning person? And she looked at me dead in the eye and said, well, that's just a story. And I was like, dang, she called me out. Yes, truly, whatever you believe about meditation is just a story. It's a story. And you can ask yourself right now, is it serving me? And for right now, it may be, because you're like, I don't even care. I don't even know what I'm missing out on. But once I paint the picture for you on what you have the potential to create in your life through some of these practices, such as meditation, then I'm going to challenge you to investigate your story and start to ask yourself, is this serving me? Is it not? Am I willing to let go of my story and start to tell a different story so that I can live the life that I desire to live? So if that's you, comment yes down below. Let me know that you're in, you're open, you're willing to investigate this meditation process with me. Okay, so I have these 6 myths about meditation. If you want to add in one of your thoughts about meditation, you can go ahead and comment that below as well. But this is number one myth about meditation. I have to stop thinking. It's like, I can't do it because I have to stop thinking. I can't turn off my thoughts, right? What if I told you meditation is not about not thinking? It is not about clearing your mind. Now, I will say there are multiple types of meditation. The one I'm speaking about today, in my personal opinion, is the easiest and the quickest to get started, and it's called mindfulness meditation. So, with mindfulness meditation, it is simply becoming aware and present with what's going on around you, what sensations you're feeling in your body, and yes, what thoughts are coming through your mind. So, I'm going to give you right now a meditation practice you can use in this moment to practice mindfulness meditation. Okay, are you with me? Tune in here. Ask yourself this question. I wonder what my next thought is going to be. Now pause. And just wait. Okay? That moment of silence, that moment of awareness, that moment of waiting for the next thought, and then identifying that next thought is literally mindfulness meditation. So, what may have come up for you is, how long am I going to be sitting here? This is dumb. Could it really be that easy? I have something to do. Oh, something on my stove is burning, right? You just in that moment created awareness and created mindfulness around what you're thinking. That is step one to meditation, is becoming present. All right, number two myth about meditation. I don't have time. Literally everyone says they don't have time. And I don't know who first quoted this, but they said, if you don't have time to meditate for 10 minutes a day, then meditate for an hour, right? Because we create our own reality in regards to time. And I'm not going to get into coaching in this session because I want to keep it to 20 minutes, but I want you to understand that when you set aside just 3 minutes can change your life. 3 minutes a day to breathe, to check in, to set your intention. 3 minutes a day can change your life. You can do it in the morning. You can do it in the bathroom stall. I've done that multiple times where I'm being triggered by somebody. This is when I used to work in a job before I was full-time life coaching, and I'm like being triggered, and I would just go to the bathroom, do my business in the bathroom, but then I would remain in the stall. I would stand there. I would take a couple deep breaths. I would just reassess. I would connect with gratitude for having this job. And I would set my intention for going back out there and dealing with this person, whether it was a customer, a coworker, or whatever. Okay. So you don't have time is a BS story that you're telling yourself. You do have time. You're just not making it a priority because you haven't yet seen the vision for your life and what this could create for you. Awesome, Amanda. Hey, girl. How are you doing? Okay. Number three. Third myth is it doesn't work for me. So maybe you've tried it. Maybe you've tried meditation. If you have, put a comment in below. Let me know that you've tried meditation. It is okay for you to try it, start it, then get off of it, and then you're like inconsistent. That's how I was for the first 3 years. It wasn't until the last 2 to 3 years that I got really consistent, where I just had a 100-day streak. But even me, who teaches meditation, it is okay for you to be inconsistent. The point is, this is so interesting. It's like what our brains do. It's like, well, it doesn't work for me. It's the same thing as saying, well, I just can't eat healthy ever, so I'm just not going to eat healthy at all. It's like saying, I'm just not going to eat apples because what's the point of eating healthy if I still eat McDonald's, right? It doesn't really make sense. Where you can add in healthy foods, great water, and yes, 3 minutes of meditation, even if you're inconsistent, is still going to benefit you. So the purpose here is to become face to face with your resistance on what does working actually mean to you. The purpose of mindfulness is to become aware of your thoughts. So You becoming aware of your resistance against meditation is part of the process. Literally, most of the time where you're sitting in meditation, you're in resistance. You're like, I have to pee, I'm thirsty, I'm hungry, I don't want to, I'm uncomfortable, I have things to do. That's all part of the process. So, in you thinking that it's not working, it is actually working. That is part of the process. Resistance, having major resistance to meditation is meaning that it is working. All right, next one. Number 4. It's against my religion, or isn't that religious, or that's going to open me up to things, and I can't do that. Okay, and this is my own personal, this is kind of my own personal questioning, and a lot of my clients who come from a Christian background, this was a lot of their questioning. So it doesn't matter what background you come from at all. I know there are some religions that really center around meditation, but I'm just going to say it also says in the Bible to meditate upon God's word. So the act of meditation is available to all. It is non-denominational. It is not from a religious text to say this is how you have to do it. Now, some people may use it as part of their religious practice, and that is okay. That is that. You can choose to use it however you desire. Now, something that's been very useful for any of my clients who come from a religious background is that prayer is talking to God, right? Praying, supplicating, talking to God. Whereas meditation is receiving messages from God, listening to God. And so a lot of us were taught pray, 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 but we're never listening for those messages. So I invite you to allow a new story to be formed on yes, of course, if I want to create a deeper connection to God, to source, to universe, to whatever energy it is, this creative energy that you believe in, then if I want to have that relationship, I must spend time listening, right? If you want to build a true friendship, you don't just talk at someone, you also must listen. Okay, so I think that's helpful for you. Number 5, I can't sit still. I have a lot of high achievers. I have a lot of like people who are running and athletic. That's my background as well. I get it. I know we want to be on the go. We have to do things. We got things to do, important things. I don't have time. I can't sit still. It just doesn't work for me. Cool. I want to speak to those movers and shakers. You can practice mindfulness meditation while you're walking. In fact, I highly recommend that if you are one of those people who believes you can't sit still. And you may have the jitters, you may have the shakes, you may just not feel comfortable sitting still. I invite you to put on a guided meditation, listen to it while you walk, listen to it while you run. And those runners out here, those of you who are long distance runners, you are in state, you are in the flow, you are in mindfulness. When you're running, right? Because you're mindful of my body hurts, but I'm going to keep going. So you're already practicing this if you are in the physical realm and you're doing those physical things. But you can become more intentional with it, where you're listening to affirmations, or where you're listening to mantras, or where you're having a guided visualization. Now, you do have to be careful because one time I was walking and I kind of got so deep in trance that I kind of started to act drunk. So you got to be careful with how deep you go into the meditation process if you are going to be moving or on an exercise equipment or walking or running. But I do recommend that for people who say they can't sit still. Number 6, I'm not a morning person, or I don't have time to do that in the morning. Hey, I get it. Listen, first of all, let me just address why most people, when they're speaking of meditation, say doing it in the morning or doing it in the evening is the best. And I'm not going to go all deep into science. I'll give you a little bit of science here. But essentially what meditation is dropping through the brainwave states. Now, people do this intentionally. People do this unintentionally. So for example, you're awake, you're listening to me right now, you're thinking. That means you are in the gamma brainwaves. Gamma is thinking, assessing, analyzing. Usually, that's the brain state that we're in when we're awake and we are engaged. But in order to go to sleep at night, you've got to make your way all through those brainwaves down to delta state, which is sleeping, where you're resting and you're rejuvenating and you're fully connected to the subconscious. But to go from gamma the whole way down to delta, you have to pass through 3 other brainwave states. The first one is beta. Yeah, The first one, yes. So it goes gamma, beta. And beta is when you're kind of just relaxing a little bit. Maybe you're not as focused. Maybe you're kind of staring out the window. So you're just dropping down a little bit. The next state is alpha. And you'll be familiar with alpha because most people, when they get home from work, they want to turn off their brain. They want to zone out, as we call it. So this would be you turning on Netflix or scrolling on your phone or doing something that's kind of like a mindless activity, maybe playing a video game, or maybe playing like a little game on your phone where you just want to stop thinking so much and drop into alpha. Now, that's fine. I'm not going to make any judgments here. I've done those things in the past, but what you're not being intentional with what's being put into your brain in those moments. Specifically, if you are scrolling or watching videos on YouTube, you're dropping into alpha, and alpha is a more relaxed brain state. You're kind of dropping into a sort of hypnosis, and then that hypnosis might be suggesting to you that you're not enough, that so-and-so has a better body and a better job and a hotter boyfriend than you. So therefore, you're programming more negative thoughts into your subconscious versus being really intentional about affirming yourself and visualizing your future and tapping into what it is that you want to create. So the next level is the beautiful mystical state of theta. And theta is the true meditative state where you're actually being guided. Maybe you're visualizing something. Maybe you're deep in a daydream. Maybe you're just about to fall asleep. That's kind of what theta feels like. And that is the power of meditation, is we get into those theta states where we can create, and we're creative, and we're in flow state, and things flow through. You may be able to paint or write in that moment, or you may be able to just sit and feel and bask in the presence of love or God or source, and you might feel gratitude. We are able to access our subconscious in theta state. And I have a whole nother video that's 25 reasons to meditate. So I will link that below. I'll make sure there's access to this in my Facebook community. But just to let you know, these brain states, when we're intentional with them on putting good, beneficial, positive beliefs about ourselves into our subconscious, is going to allow us to achieve, to be, do, and have the things that we desire. It is through accessing the subconscious, essentially through a guided meditation or through a self-hypnosis. Okay, Lucy says, my goal is to do more mindful meditation in the morning. I'm clearing out a space in my room for it. I love that, Lucy, and I look forward to hearing about your process. I know you will post that on social media as you begin. Okay, so I just want to wrap this up with the six myths, and I know that you've gained some from this, but these are 6 myths. I have to stop thinking, not true. I don't have time, absolutely not true. It doesn't work for me, it's always working. Number 4, it's against my religion, it is not religious. Number 5, I can't sit still, cool, then walk, totally fine. And number 6, I'm not a morning person, I totally get it. You can do it anytime throughout the day, but doing it in the morning, doing it in the evening helps you to access that subconscious. Maybe you just want to drift off to sleep, listening to a guided meditation. Listen to it while you sleep. Okay? So that is all I have for you today. I will be doing these live on Wednesdays at 12 p.m. Eastern for the foreseeable future. I will be bringing on guests, but they're not always going to be published live to my Facebook page and live to YouTube. I just wanted to come on here and announce that I will be doing these consistently inside of my Powerful Potential Facebook group. So if you want to join the community, if you want to be part of a powerful, uplifting community of people of all genders, the commonality here is we desire to have more, and we desire to love ourselves more, and we are not afraid to practice and get uncomfortable and start to share what we're going through within the community. So please check out the link, join Powerful Potential Facebook group on Facebook. If you are seeking guidance, support, if you're wanting some coaching in a one-on-one capacity, I do have spots available. So if you're wanting to know more about coaching one-on-one, how that looks to transform your life, by transforming your mindset, then send me a message on Instagram, on Facebook at Cami Kennedy. I'd love to connect with you, learn about you and what your vision is, and we can connect on a free call to talk about exactly how to get you there and what's holding you back that you may not have realized. So there's a lot of value in hopping on a consult or connecting. And at the end of the day, we either work together or we don't, but I know that your brain and your capacity to have what you desire will be expanded. So continue to join me here each and every week. I will have special guests. And if you haven't yet, make sure you join the Facebook community. All right, bye.